Alright, welcome back to Starfield. We are going to continue with this Vanguard storyline. Last episode we had a serious serious surprise in the story. Every mission this story just escalates more and more and more. Everything, cloning, an alien xeno war, genetic engineering program, war mech factory. This has just been a really crazy story. It's been a lot of fun, and last episode we found out that not only is Vae Victis alive, but he may have known more than he let anybody really let on about, as far as this Terrormorph infestation and where they're coming from and how they breed. And so we discovered the nest within Londinion, and our heroes learned that the Terrormorphs are spawning from the heat worms in the spaceship. So go check it out. It was really exciting, really crazy, wild. But we need to go confront him, and of course we also have spilled it to Hadrian that her father, or shall we say her genetic donor, because she was cloned from Vae Victis, but she was surprised to find out that he is still alive. And we had to tell everybody. We had to let him know, like, hey, look, if he knows something about this biological weapon that could wipe out all of humanity, people have a right to know, and we need to hold him accountable and find out what else he knows that can stop it. So, and we just took a little side trip to our outpost, and it appears out in the distance we've got a ship has landed near our outpost. So yeah, things seem to be working smoothly here. So we are going to head to New Atlantis. I continue to make upgrades to our ship. You'll notice it's got some a bigger shielded cargo storage. I like the look of these boxes, by the way. I really like the look of these boxes. I forget what they're called, but it's a shielded cargo storage, so we can carry some contraband later if we need to. And we have another one on this side. So we expanded our shielded cargo space greatly. I upgraded the fuel tanks on the ship. I think we have enough to jump like 30 light years or something per jump. We have an incredible amount of fuel, and so with our ship being very small and agile, we're able to go a lot further with it. So we sacrificed the functionality of having all of the workstations in the ship, but that's okay. All right, Omari, is ship ready for takeoff? Let's see, all boss. Of our crew. And this ship is perfect size for our 4 crew members. It's perfect. That's all we need.
We're cleared for lift.
FBI, open up!
Ah. Oh, what is a Veyron spacesuit? Supposedly the Veyron weapons are supposed to be really good. Aliens stir fry with them. Well, I guess we can just take these weapons and stuff too.
If you're searching, then make it quick.
Yeah, I don't know if this is just, I guess, a random ship that has decided to attack us in space. Alright, wow, this ship is huge though. We went, let's see, there's more. Did we go down here? Wow, the ship just keeps going. Alright, that's the landing bay access. Okay, that's kind of cool. Alright, so this is just, okay, this is just the lower deck to the landing bay. And let's see, we came through here. Those are the stairs that we came down. Alright, so we've cleared out this area. Okay, we gotta go back. This ship's like 3 or 4 floors, it looks like. Let's see. Hopefully there's nobody up here waiting to shoot at us. That was weird. So I guess the docking collar is right behind the cockpit in this plane, or this spaceship. I know it's not a plane. Okay. Oh wow, Captain's Locker's got some stuff. 5,000 credits. Cool. I wonder what class of ship this is, if I can fly it or not. Because if we can, I'm gonna take it. I mean, they attacked me, so it's only fair, right? Like, okay, so we don't have enough pilot skill. We've got to be a class probably B or C. So yeah, we need to destroy more ships. We need to destroy more ships so we can steal more ships. Okay. Well, we've pillaged what we could from here, I guess. So. Alright.
Ship's detached. We're clear.
Now, what I'd like to know, if we leave this ship here, does it stay? Does it just stay as like a derelict ship? I mean, it's orbiting right over our outpost, so... I mean, I guess we could find it later and see if it's still here. So, anyway. Alright, well, we need to move on. We have time-sensitive tasks we have to fulfill here. Let's get to Alpha Centauri. We're going to go see Vae Victis. Yeah, those are the kind of interactions you miss if you fast travel everywhere. And we also need to speak to Kelton. That was the Kelton Frush was the scientist. We haven't seen him in a while, so I've started taking like these photo mode shots of all the locations we go. I want to go back to the mech scrapyard and get some, because there were some really cool visuals there, just with all the old dead war mechs and stuff laying around. I really want to go back and get some photo mode shots of that place, and I may do that off screen when I have a chance. It just, I feel like it, you know, I like how the photo mode is part of the loading screen. Let's see, combat tech. Yeah, we're just gonna sell these Equinox there. Let's see. They're really not that particularly great. 7 damage, yeah. Get out of here. Get that junk out of here. We got 2 more Equinoxes there. Okay, and then we picked up some spacesuits. They're actually pretty good spacesuits. I might keep one for like a follower to wear. Oh, that's a calibrated Vae runes. Well, that's an even better one, isn't it? I mean, our spacesuit's so good, but for a follower, that wouldn't be bad. Alright, yeah, we'll keep like one of these calibrated spacesuits, and the deep core I'll just get rid of. That's not particularly good. And then the calibrated packs. That's a power booster pack. Wonder what a skip capacity is. Huh. Alright, so we sold some weapons. Oh, we got helmets we gotta sell. Refined. Yeah, that refined helmet is quite a bit better. Calibrated is 48 physical damage. And the environmental stats are the same, so it's really just the damage reduction. Yeah, so the refined is the better quality. Okay. We haven't really been able to do any spacesuit crafting because, unfortunately, it's locked behind perks, and I don't really like that too much. But it's just, I mean, I guess it gives us something to look forward to when we get there, but it is unfortunate that we can't just enjoy those things right out the gate. But I guess, it gives us something to look forward to as we level up. But putting basic crafting behind the perks is a little bothersome. I feel like they could have had more crafting options. And then, not gatekeep the ability, but put the advanced options behind a behind the perks. So, if that makes sense, the gatekeeping of the entire ability is unfortunate, but it's okay. Alright, so we are in the Mass District.
Excited to see Tony after.
And before we go see Vae Victis, let's go see our old buddy, Dr. Frush. I guess he's a botanist of some sort. There he is. In his blue outfit there under the tree. So I'm guessing, last time we met Dr. Frush, he was studying these trees that have been on the planet for a very long time on Jemison, and we helped him with a few
I was hoping we might run into one
experiments. So let's see what he
Your
knows now.
timing is most fortuitous. I'm on the verge of something, but I don't quite have all the information I need.
You never seem to have all the information. No joke. If you're still paying, I'm still listening.
Well, actually, Mast would be paying, but I see your point and assure you that you will be compensated for your time. Of course, now that I understand more about what's going on, it seems plain as day, and yet I never would have imagined it before. The tertiary trunks have also liquefied their interiors, but they're not vibrating. I thought perhaps it was some sort of defect, but it's much simpler. They're listening.
The trees are listening?
I don't. Not for sure. It's all a theory, certainly, but it is completely supported by the data and observation, like all good science. It's the best we have to go on right now. That's a very reductive and borderline insulting way of looking at things. I believe this tree is sending vibrations out over massive distances and expecting to detect sympathetic vibrations in return. As of yet, there's been no response. I suspect that will not change, that a response
So these
is
trees
impossible,
are able to communicate. That's crazy.
Very, very bad news. We're continuing to see an increase in the strength and frequency of the vibrations. I don't know how much more significant it will become.
Like
If
the
there's
tree's
no
getting
response,
desperate
the tree
or something?
may vibrate itself and some nearby portion of the city to destruction.
Oh, well, that's definitely
Now,
not good.
as of yet, there has been no response. And clearly, none of the nearby individuals are a correct match. While it can't be ruled out that the intended recipient of these messages was cut down during the city's expansion, there is one other possibility. Over 100 years ago, the United Colonies and the Freestar Collective emerged from the Narian War. As a gesture of peace and goodwill, a near-literal olive branch, one of the trees from New Atlantis, was offered to the leaders of Aquila City.
What?
Nice. Short-sighted and ill-advised, in my opinion. Of course, you can't just uproot a native species and plunk it down on some other planet in a totally different environment and expect it to grow. Clearly, no exobotanists were consulted ahead of time. The end result was wholly predictable. The tree died within a few short years.
Yeah, I don't understand. I don't understand what the dead tree has to do with this tree.
Clever, but no, not necessarily. The tree died, yes, but branches were kept. At least one still exists in the museum there in the city. If I had that branch, I could get DNA samples, and then using various data I've gathered, I could attempt to simulate a response. We could then broadcast that response and hopefully calm down our friend here. But as I say, I need that branch.
Huh. And we finally arrived
I'm
at the
afraid
point.
I can't be two places at once, and I have too much going on here.
So I guess if we
The
go by
museum in
Aquila City, we need
is
to
under
pick
the
up this
supervision of
branch
One Miss Kessler, I'm told.
from Ms.
I don't know
Kessler.
anything
Okay.
about her, but hopefully she'll be willing to listen to reason and assist our cause. All right, off you go. We don't have any time to waste.
All right, so he's basically sending us on a fetch quest. We don't need to do it right now. So let's see. Make sure. See, it changed our active mission. We have like a galaxy, and literally the survival of humanity is at stake, and he wants to go chase a tree branch. So yeah, I think he's going on the back burner for a little while. Have we ever gone to this mission portal here? Welcome to New Atlantis, our shared history corporate directory. Oh, okay. I thought maybe this might be a mission board, but it's not. I think it's funny how we can just sort of like come and go from this top secret facility now. Like, yeah, you've been here. You already know the secret. The secret's out, so just don't break anything or tell anyone.
Authorized personnel. Stay here.
Retrieve awaiting follow. Oh, okay. So we have to go back and get her after we... Yeah, you've got a lot of explaining to do. A lot of explaining to do. How do I use my health pack? Am I out of them? I must be out of health packs.
Well, what a pleasant surprise. When I heard you and Hadrian were headed for Londinion of all places, I presumed you must be onto something big. Did you find what you were looking for?
We did, and a whole lot more. That's exactly what I was thinking.
I haven't been to Londinion in many years. Why? Is there some way I could be of assistance? Were you able to recover what you were looking for? Good news, then. So, what exactly are you doing here? Plenty still to be done in defeating the Terrormorphs, no?
Huh. Yeah, so how confrontational should we be with him?
Did you? Well, I don't know what you think you heard on this recording, but I sincerely hope you didn't come to the wrong conclusions. After all, given the Cabinet's current state of anxiety, they might misinterpret such a discovery to mean I could have been involved with the attacks. Perhaps I can convince you to keep this among us. Of course. Do I look like I'm in any position to do what you're describing? So I'd very much appreciate your agreement to not share what you found. We wouldn't want anyone else jumping to conclusions now, would we?
I mean, I definitely don't think we can trust him.
You know, you're far more clever than I expected. You want to hear the words, then? I did it. The Terrormorph attacks on Tau Ceti, New Atlantis, my doing. Years of coordination between my associate and I. figuring out how to deploy the Lazarus plant's pollen outside of Londinion, learning to synthesize it, use it as a weapon. Now, being as clever as you are, I'm sure you have thoughts on why I might do such a thing.
That really is the question. Why would he do such a thing? I mean, to work on something that it seems personal. That could be. Let's see. No better way to show the UC what a deadly weapon they have in the Lazarus plant than to use it. Associate, who have you been working with? I don't know if I doubt he'll give up his associate, but we could ask.
All in due time. First, I want to see if you're truly as astute as you appear. So why would someone like me go through all this trouble?
That is interesting, because you're a madman. That's a pretty simple explanation.
You couldn't be more right. The attacks were a correction. When I discovered the plant, I did consider handing over what I'd found, but we were at war. And I couldn't risk information that dangerous falling into the wrong hands. So I ordered the bombing of the Londinion spaceport, fixing two problems at once: halting the spread of the city's Terrormorph outbreak, and sealing away knowledge of the plant's potential.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what it sounded like from the recording, because he did sound like he was trying to do, do something to prevent the Terrormorphs from spreading. And he just, he made a judgment call and killed all those people, which is horrible. You just said it took you years to use the plant outside Londinion. You killed them for nothing. That's true. I mean, he did take responsibility for Tau Ceti and New Atlantis. And he said something about an associate. That information should have been handed over, secured.
You have my
to keep it from
undivided
ever being
attention.
You didn't even trust your own people in the UC?
Simple to say now, but with the outbreak raging from a barely understood source, the moment demanded quick action. So I did what was required. I removed the dangerous variable from an already catastrophic war. But then, as the war ended, my trial, my execution, I made a decision. After all, I'd given everything for the colonies. My life as I knew it included. And what did I get in return? Was there any effort by the UC to protect my legacy? My daughter's legacy?
So this is a revenge
No.
thing?
We were sacrificed when all we did was serve. So I kept what I'd learned and arranged the attacks to set things right again. My daughter, she becomes a hero.
So it
I
is a
become
sick and
trusted
twisted
advisor,
reason.
having found Kaiser, the research team, and cement my new position of influence when I hand them the name of the person responsible for the attack on New Atlantis. The dear departed Dr. Reginald Orlays, the associate who aided me all these years, and whom I always slated to take the fall. What luck he was stopped dead before he could hurt anyone else.
So why is he telling all this
Decades
to
on the
us?
run, brought to an end by another unlikely hero. You.
I mean, he sent us after Dr. Orlace, which we wanted to bring him in, but Dr. Orlace killed himself. So why is he telling us all these things now? And he's basically admitting to the attack. how did he coordinate it all from here?
There are no heroes without a villain. I simply arranged the opportunity for us to overcome one and become the other. And we all benefited. It's why I had Orlays reprogram Kaiser. Had that old machine guide you to where I found the plant all those years ago. I went to great lengths to ensure your and Hadrian's success. And look at the results. I know for a fact the Cabinet's planning to honor both you and Hadrian once this is all done. Isn't that preferable to languishing away in obscurity? Running jobs on the tail end of nowhere for the Vanguard? With only the vague hopes of perhaps earning the right to buy a home in the well someday.
Yeah, I mean, what are we supposed to thank him for doing us a favor? Is that what he wants?
I'm simply looking for you to acknowledge the truth. And let's not forget the importance of our actual endgame. Eliminating the Terrormorphs. Securing knowledge of the Lazarus plant. What we've set in motion is going to protect thousands, maybe millions of lives. I'm simply requesting one more life be protected. Mine. I've
Yeah, I'm not
already
going to
sent
guarantee
along
a
the evidence
damn
of
thing to this
Orlays'
guy.
role in the attacks to the Cabinet, leaving out my own involvement. All I ask is that you confirm as much to the Cabinet. Tell them that it was Orlays and Orlays alone. After all, I do still have a long list of threats to the UC. This needn't be the end of our good works together.
Huh. Yeah, like...
And how many have you killed to get where you are now? There are no great works that don't cost
I don't think we've
lives,
killed
Captain.
anybody that didn't attack
Whether it's
us.
winning a war or digging a tram tunnel. So we sacrificed a few dozen in the attacks to possibly protect millions. That seems like a fair exchange to me. I only hope you'll see the same and leave my name out of the discussions to come.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still not seeing why we would defend him or protect his secret.
Hunting down criminals and other threats to the United Colonies. I expect they'll give me a bit more free range once this is all over. You would help me, like you did with Orlays. Track them down and keep them from doing harm to the United Colonies. Impossible, though, if the Cabinet learns I'm the one responsible for the attacks. Well, I do hope you'll keep the larger perspective in mind, Captain.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to work with this guy. He's a crook and a scumbag. You know, I want to stop the Terrormorph attacks, but I don't think we need him to do it now that we know what the cause is. And I think Percival ought to be able to figure out how to handle the parasites
Authorized personnel only.
from here.
Your friend has to stay here.
Come on, Sarah. Yeah, I mean, I think with the information we've got, Percival and Hadrian and the rest of the Red Devils ought to be able to come up with some solution. I don't think we need I don't think we need Vae Victis to help us for a damn thing, and I surely don't. I don't think we want to owe him any promises, so let's go check in with Hadrian.
Perfect timing. We just got in. So on our end, good news. The microbe and the Asylees are both as effective against heat leeches as they are against Terrormorphs.
Means either plan should work for clearing those critters off our worlds.
Considering what the Lazarus plant is capable of, I don't think we can deal with those things fast enough. I already sent along info to the cabinet to get them up to speed. So what about your end? Did you find anything? Did my father tell you what he knew about the Lazarus plant?
Oh, he knows way more than you want to know. Let's see, he's organized the attacks from his cell. It was a man named Dr. Reginald Orlace. He perpetrated... Now, we found Dr. Orlace previously. I'm still gathering some intel. Let me get back to you.
I knew it. The second I heard that recording, I knew. Why? Did he say why he did it? Probably a good approach. I'm sure the UC interrogators will be able to get to the bottom of it.
So you're telling us that the attack on New Atlantis was Vae Victis' responsibility, just like the dooming of Londinion? That's insane! He has a sick mind indeed. It should be dissected and studied so we can fathom how the hell a human being can function with no heart.
Well, once we inform the cabinet, they can ensure he won't be able to do anything like this ever again. I'm sure he did. But he killed dozens of people. And I'm not about to let him get away. So I guess that gives us our final answer. Nothing left to do, unless there was more to discuss. This might be our last opportunity to talk things through before the cabinet weighs in on a
Microbe is gonna make the cleanup a whole lot quicker. If we're concerned about this Lazarus plant getting deployed again, that's the way to go.
The cabinet can secure the Lazarus plant, and then we're not risking any surprises when it comes to dealing with a microbe.
You're being paranoid. You know the science. You know we can make this safe.
I do know the science. I also know math. And a 1 in a million chance of a mutation isn't 0.
Well, you're never going to get a 0 chance.
We're still in discussion. Probably best at this point to let the cabinet weigh in.
I mean,
see if they have a preference.
I think with all the with all the China virus stuff the last few years, I kind of just want to use the virus because it's funny. I don't know. Not that the China virus is funny, but just like it's funny that they included that in the story, that we can like have a galaxy shut down. I don't know. Let's see. So both approaches to clearing our worlds are effective against heat leeches. What kind of risks are there if we decide to bring back Aceles?
Aceles aren't hostile to humans, but they are megafauna. If someone decides to pick a fight with one, it could get ugly. But they've already been spread far and wide once before when the UC was raising them as livestock, so the risk of introducing them to new worlds is minimal. Using them to clean up the Terrormorphs and leeches, though, it's not going to be nearly as expedient as the microbe would be. Given what we know now about the Lazarus plant, the speed of the job does matter. But going with the Aceles, we're at least dealing with known risks. It's hard to know. Unlike my father, the cabinet aren't butchers. But killing UC... But if you're really that concerned, you could request they be lenient. They might.
All right. Well, I think that pretty much wraps up that whole discussion.
Any topics?
Yeah, let's head in there.
And here we go.
Now, what do we have here? Soul, Wolf, Ptolemy. Okay, so these are some of their colony. Oh, okay, this is kind of cool. Let me see if I can back up where I can see the whole thing. So, Freestar Collective has Cheyenne, Narian, Valo, and Voli. Voli is, I think that's where Neon is as well. I didn't know they were that was under Freestar as well as Cheyenne. So we haven't been. This must be House Veyroon, and we don't know where they are from, it looks like. And then Crix is the home of the Crimson Fleet. And then, of course, we know the Sol and Alpha Centauri and Wolf systems and Ptolemy, where we were just recently for Londinion. So, yeah, that's interesting that they have this map here that we can refer to. I may see if I can't get that image to use for some stuff. That would be nice if I can find that in the files, in the game files. All right, well, here goes nothing.
Welcome back, all of you. I wish we were meeting under better circumstances.
Yeah, me too,
But
Counselor.
according to Hadrian's report, and the second one I just received, it seems the Terrormorph attack on New Atlantis was no random occurrence, but a planned strike. Is what I'm reading here true?
We found the culprit. Is he gonna try and pin it on us?
This report comes from a particularly confidential source both you and I are familiar with, yes. Among the reasons its findings are so alarming. Now, is it true? Was the attack on New Atlantis planned? The second report claims to know the perpetrator as well. Did Reginald Orlays actually commit these attacks, Captain?
Orlays?
Yeah, so
It's true, ma'am. I heard the recording myself. My father figured out how to use Terrormorphs as weapons.
He did what? That's impossible. He doesn't have the kind of access to...
Clearly, he made his own access, Chief Sarkin. Madam President, I have been saying for years that not dealing with that man was gonna end in tragedy.
Enough! I hope everyone here understands that what has just been shared is a state secret of the highest order. This information does not leave this room. Now, that's quite the accusation you're leveling, considering Francois Sanon has not left containment for the better part of 2 decades. You have evidence to back this up?
It just transformed. A Terrormorph out of thin air. An invisible weapon. No planet would be safe.
Heavens help us. Is that actually him?
I'd know that voice anywhere. That's Francois.
He knew they could do this, and said nothing.
He's a sociopath. Plain and simple, ma'am.
Officer, please collect that recording.
Yes, ma'am. Begging your pardon, Captain.
We'll, of course, be launching a full investigation into how this could have happened. Though I have little doubt the Admiral will be quick to share all he knows on the subject once confronted with that recording. Chief Yassine, can you send one of your interrogators to have a little chat with the Admiral?
I'll issue the order immediately.
Good. Combined with everything else you all have uncovered. Well, I don't think the United Colonies can thank you enough. We failed the people of the colonies by not dealing with Vae Victis sooner. I intend to rectify that mistake immediately.
yeah, I mean, I don't understand this option of, he did help us with the Terrormorphs. Well, he planned it. I mean, he organized the attacks that wouldn't have happened otherwise, unless we're supposed to believe that this plant has been spread everywhere.
It's well past due. Now, with our villain unmasked, we can attend to the other matters at hand. With the threads you've brought together here, the Lazarus plant, the attacks, the heat leeches, the 3 of you have likely spared thousands of lives. But it now falls to the cabinet to ensure this can never happen again. As such, The cabinet will be securing the Lazarus plant on Londinion. All materials related to the plant will be classified to ensure no one else learns its true nature.
A sound decision, Madam President.
Yeah, I mean, so the question is, should they take the plant? I mean, I'm concerned that they might try to use it as well. I mean, clearly the other factions are concerned about this. Wiping the plant out altogether. I mean, you're talking about wiping out an entire species, which, you know, may not be a bad thing if it prevents wiping out all life in the galaxy. That's such a broad and embellished.
These are topics
statement,
of the
but
utmost importance.
Yeah, no, I hear
Take
you.
your time.
I'm reading. I'm reading all of the possible responses here. I believe the other factions should be involved in securing the Lazarus plant. I kind of agree with that one. The only concern I have with the other factions is whether one of the other factions knows about it or not. And of course, then we have to explain why Vae Victis is hiding in the basement. So I don't know that the cabinet's going to like that answer, that response very much.
Well, luckily the natural hostility of Londinion makes keeping out trespassers relatively easy. But we'll ensure its growth is contained, that access to the plant is only permitted via highly regulated clearances, and that our troop presence on Londinion is increased.
Tell the Freestar Collective. Wow. So they have another tool to utilize against us?
I'm in agreement. I fail to see the value here.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of my thought process too. Is like, if they truly want to protect everyone, then they need to show that they're not going to try and use it. Although then the information being more readily available could be dangerous. But yeah.
That's true. With all the mistakes and the deception that's been going on, the UC has an obligation to be as open and honest as possible.
That is an interesting idea. A grand gesture, showing definitively this cabinet doesn't think like those of the past.
So, you want us to make nice with the Collective by sharing our state secrets?
No, I want us to display plainly the UC's actual intentions, that the plant will never be used as a weapon again.
That does sound worthwhile, Chief Kulkarni. Very well. We'll get the Collective involved in the management. Thank you for the suggestion, Captain. So then,
Now, why do I
to
have
our
a
final
feeling that
topic.
House of Veyruun is
the
not going to
Cabinet
like
has agreed to implement a plan that will deal with the
wiping out the
Terrormorph,
plants,
and now
you know?
also Heat Leech presence on human worlds. In fact, we've already begun enacting measures to check all UC ports and settlements for undiscovered nests. But we all understand this is only a partial solution. The project we're embarking on will be a long and difficult one. So our first step must be deciding how exactly this all will be handled.
Madam President, this microbe is clearly too much of a risk. The Aseles are the safer approach.
To someone with limited knowledge of biology, perhaps? The technology behind the microbe is solved science, Madam President. It isn't dangerous. Using it to wipe out the Terrormorphs would be the quickest path to protecting humanity.
And fast results always lead to the best outcomes, don't they?
As you can see, there remains debate among the Cabinet. We were hoping your group might issue a recommendation. Major?
I mean, if the
We've been having
Aseles are
similar
food,
debates ourselves, but the captain has yet to weigh in.
I see. Captain, I know this may not be your area of expertise, but we'd like to know your take on the matter.
I mean, I feel like the Aseles, not only is it the safer route supposedly, but it is. I mean, you're also you have the side effect of creating food for people. I don't know how important that is, but I would think that with people spread across all these different planets and star systems, that food production would be important, especially with the Tau Ceti facility being destroyed. That's all the more reason. How urgent is it? That's, I guess, the real question is, how urgently do the Terrormorphs need to be wiped out?
We're waiting on you, Captain.
Yeah, I mean, then of course, if it's not wiped out fast enough, do the Terrormorphs spread? Hell, let's try the micro.
Glad to see someone's not afraid of a little
China virus, here we go.
The science division is in full agreement.
I doubt there's another body in the galaxy that could pull it off.
China.
Absolutely correct. There are no better hands in the galaxy for this project than ours.
Order, please. And Major Sinan? Dr. Walker, you'd find this acceptable?
We trust the captain's judgment.
Then the matter is settled. We'll begin the process immediately. Today marks day 1 for the United Colonies Terrormorph Management Division, making you 3 the founding members of the TMD.
I don't know if I signed up for that.
As befits such a group, the cabinet wanted to display its gratitude. Today, we will be adding 3 new Class 1 citizens.
I like
to
the
our
word
ranks.
gratitude.
Class
That usually
1?
means money, right?
For the 3 of us? Are you joking?
What he means to say is, thank you, ma'am.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
What's a Class 1?
It's a status reserved only for those who've dedicated their lives to the United Colonies.
Wow.
Class
okay.
1s enjoy an ample credit disbursement, an additional reduction on the cost of colonial goods.
Sounds like communism.
And I'm told the penthouse is rather impressive.
Yep, it's communism.
You all have earned it. Now, there's much to be done. Major Sinan, Dr. Walker, I hope you two are willing to continue
big government
your
pension
efforts,
and
spearheading the TMD's research on Mars.
Special privileges and
As for you,
benefits,
Captain,
yeah.
The Vanguard will be providing much of the on-the-ground support for the TMD. As a member of both the Vanguard and the TMD, I believe you'll have your pick of duties. Speak to your commander, Tuala, if I recall correctly. He should be able to provide you with assignments going forward, plus help you collect the benefits that come with being named Class 1. On behalf of the whole of the United Colonies, you have our sincerest gratitude.
Woohoo!
This meeting is adjourned.
All right, wow, we got 15,000 credits for that, and hopefully it was worth it. I'm assuming there will be consequences to the decisions we made. Good and bad. I hope there's consequences to the decisions we made. That's what makes them meaningful. That's what makes them decisions. All right, wait, why is it sending us to the NAT station? We want to go see Tuala, right? Oh, okay, that's an activity now.
Well, I've got to say, this is a first. I've never had a Class 1 citizen in my ranks before. Congratulations, Captain.
Thank you, Commander. It's an honor.
No need to thank me. You brought this on yourself. I've already gone ahead and processed your Class 1 benefits. All UC goods and services should now have a thanks for protecting the colonies discount.
Okay,
And the credits
thanks.
should be in your accounts now. But to get into your penthouse,
Thanks
you'll
for
have to pay a visit to
protecting the
Philion
colonies
Realty
discount.
office. They should be able to grant you access.
Oh, and then we got another 12,000 credits? Good lord. Glad to see the UC give credit where credit's due.
Higher-ups wanted to make sure you know how much they appreciate what you've done. But with all that squared, it's time to get you a new assignment. There are your standard Vanguard missions, putting those pilot skills to use defending UC space. Or you could help the TMD in cleaning up Terrormorphs. Oh, and I got a request from Dr. Walker. Wanted your help collecting biological samples to keep an eye out for any, new alien threats on the horizon.
Oh, cool.
Any of those missions call to you?
New alien threats. Yeah.
Sure.
I want to see what other crazy new aliens are out there.
Find yourself looking for more work, you know where to find me.
All right, so I guess we talked to Walker. So that I wonder if that's the end. That must be the end of the UC Vanguard, at least for now. And then we have all these Radiant quests we can continue to do, and I have a feeling that those just continue on indefinitely. So next episode we are going to probably pick up with the Rugen, the Rugen Corp. We started working with Rugen early on, and we got a job as an intern at Rugen, and we met the previous intern at the coffee shop picking up coffee, and words were exchanged, and now they want us to be their spies, and they sent us to gather some intelligence, and we need to check back in with Imogen. So that's going to be it for this episode. Next episode we're going to pick right back up. We're going to go check in with Imogen and see where Rugen takes us next. Until then, Super Ed Ultra, and enjoy your travels amongst the stars.